It's 2:30 p.m. You're staring at your screen, and suddenly you feel like someone pulled the plug. The afternoon brain fog sets in, and keeping your eyes open feels like a physical workout. We usually point the finger at sugar. We tell ourselves we ate the wrong thing at lunch, assuming all carbohydrates act the exact same way inside our bodies. But if sugar is the enemy, elite sprinters shouldn't rely on it right before the starting gun. They use it to guarantee peak explosive performance. This reveals the underlying mechanic. The glycemic index measures biological speed, rating carbohydrates on a 0 to 100 scale based on how fast they turn into glucose in your blood. Think of your bloodstream as a highway. Digestion is the on-ramp. At the top of the scale, you have high GI sprint fuel, cars flooring it onto the highway all at once. At the bottom, you have low GI marathon fuel, cars merging slowly, one by one. That afternoon crash signals a kinetic mismatch. You fueled a stationary body with a high-speed energy source it couldn't possibly use in time. Let's look at that sprint fuel. Foods with a GI score of 70 or higher digest extremely fast. We're talking white bread, sugary cereals, and candy. The extreme end of this scale is liquid sugar, like a soft drink. Because there is almost nothing for your stomach to break down, it bypasses the normal digestive delays. Look at this line graph. It shows exactly what happens in your body. It creates a traffic explosion. A massive payload of glucose floods the bloodstream highway all at exactly the same time. Physically, you feel this as a rush. You get a sudden, sharp burst of alertness and immediate energy. But that peak is unstable. Because the fuel hit the system so fast, it burns out just as quickly, plunging your blood sugar below where it started. When your blood sugar drops that steeply, your brain misreads the signal. It thinks you're starving. The hunger returns rapidly, making it incredibly easy to overeat just to get that energy back. Sprint fuel is highly volatile. It delivers immense, immediate power, but a debilitating crash is guaranteed without immediate physical activity. To understand why that crash happens so aggressively, we have to look at the body's built-in storage manager. As this matrix illustrates, whenever blood sugar rises, your pancreas releases a hormone called insulin. Its response is proportional. A massive sugar spike triggers an equally massive wave of insulin to keep your blood from becoming toxic. Insulin's primary job is to clear the highway. It forcefully shuttles that excess glucose out of the blood and pushes it into your muscle cells to be used for energy. Here is the catch. When a high GI food causes a flood of insulin, the manager overreacts. It clears the glucose too fast, stripping your blood of fuel and leaving you lethargic. And if you're sedentary, your muscle cells don't need that energy. Since the muscles are full, insulin is forced to pack that extra glucose away as body fat. Controlling your daily energy and your weight comes down to controlling your insulin response. You want to keep the storage manager working at a steady pace, rather than sending it into a daily panic. This brings us to marathon fuel. Foods with a GI score of 55 or less, like oats, lentils, and sweet potatoes, are complex and take time to digest. This chart shows the kinetic difference. Instead of a traffic explosion, they break down slowly. Glucose trickles into the bloodstream gradually, acting like cruise control for your energy levels. This steady curve keeps your blood sugar stable. The insulin response is small and manageable, keeping you full longer and locking in your mental focus for hours. There is also a tactical middle ground. Foods scoring between 56 and 69 act as a bridge, perfect for when you're about to exert moderate physical effort. A banana is a prime example of this medium GI fuel. It provides a moderate rise in glucose. It breaks down fast enough to fuel an impending workout, but steadily enough to prevent a mid-session crash. Low and medium GI foods trade the explosive rush for enduring stamina. They are the tools you use when biological stability is more important than immediate power. So, how do you actually apply this? Your carbohydrate choice should be dictated entirely by what you plan to do for the next 2 hours. Let's look at the first scenario. If you are sitting at a desk, answering emails, and doing focused cognitive work, your physical output is near zero. You need low GI marathon fuel. This keeps your insulin quiet and your cognitive focus sharp straight through the afternoon. Choosing sprint fuel in this environment guarantees an energy crash at your keyboard and significantly increases your chances of storing that excess energy as fat. Now, flip the scenario. What if you just finished a grueling, high-intensity workout and your muscles are completely depleted? In this specific window, athletes actively want high GI carbohydrates. A sports drink or pure glucose is actually the optimal choice. This flowchart breaks down the logic. They are intentionally weaponizing that massive insulin spike. By forcing the storage manager to react fast, they rapidly shuttle glucose right back into their empty muscle cells, slashing their recovery time. The problem happens when we mix these profiles up. You wouldn't wear track spikes to sit at a computer, so you shouldn't eat explosive athletic energy for a stationary job. Stop treating carbohydrates as dietary villains. Sugar is just a highly specific kinetic tool. Always match your digestion speed to your activity speed. If you aren't sprinting, don't eat sprint fuel.